Hey guys, CNB Minecraft tutorials here, and I am ready for another day. Sorry I wasn't here in the past few days, but, whatever. Don't have time on my schedule. So, remember the last episode where I did the entire RS NOR latch and T flip-flop array with all this wonderful stuff, and I showed you guys this farm model that I made? Well, today is the episode where I tell you a little bit more about the farm model and teach you how to do this. So, who wants to know how to make an auto farm? Well, it's not completely automatic because you have to plant it yourself, but I'm sure I do. So I'm going to take a little trip into the Minecraft Snapshot, the newest Snapshot, to take a look at how I can apply this with hoppers and light detectors and all sorts of wonderful things. Alright guys, now we are in the Minecraft Snapshot 13w05a, which is obviously a snapshot. We are in yesterday's or a few days ago's setup, where we have the RS NOR latches and the T flip-flop arrays. And today I'm going to be showing you guys about this farm. The farm that I just showed you before has now been modified. And after using about 3 million pieces of bone meal, because of the fact that bone meal is a little different in the snapshots and it requires a few bone meal to grow one wheat, I took a lot more. So I got the same model T flip-flop here. I was going to show you guys a different model, but I decided against it because it's not a T flip-flop episode. These are all T flip-flops. But right now, you have the basic array where the wheat comes down because of the water. It pushes it all directly into these hoppers. And then a minecart, which is standing over there, goes over underneath these hoppers. It collects the stuff into its hopper. And then it goes into this hopper. And then it goes into this chest, which has minecarts in it. I was testing it a little. So, just take that out. So, you guys want to see this work before I show you guys how I did it? Alright then. So, gonna go in the T flip-flop farm, hit the button, the flip-flop farm. And remember, not all of it's going to make it into the hopper, so you might lose a little here and there because it just pops up. And as you see, it's pouring into the hopper, and the minecart's moving back and forth underneath these hoppers. So it's taking the materials out, which is pretty nice. You see the minecart filling up and then losing. It shouldn't fill up because the farm's not that big, but if it does, then you got an issue, I suppose. So, I don't think it will fill up. Your chest right here should be gathering materials slowly but surely. At 28 right now, 29, 30. So your chest is filling. Your hopper right here is getting stuff from this minecart that's moving back and forth. There are simpler models I suppose you could use. You could have all these hoppers funnel into one and then go down to another and so forth and so forth. Hoppers can actually be used as pipes in this setup. I just want to show you how to use the hopper in this particular setup. As you see that it's moving right there, so I can then place another block right here, move it into there, place another block right here, move it, oh, that's not a hopper, move it into here, place another block right here, and in general, then I could place a chest. I've let like half of my texture back here. Oh, that's a trap chest. Because of the fact that it's not made for the snapshot, if I throw some weight in there, it'll start pumping over into this chest. See that? That's kind of like a piping system, more or less. And you can do this to travel over certain distances. It's pretty efficient, and it's like having a buildcraft pipe always at your services. So, really, you could do something like that on this farm. Considering the farm is so big, the tutorial is going to be a little bit lengthy, but I'm not going to actually show you how to build the entire farm. Considering it's pretty self-explanatory. You have the water here, you have the pistons that push up on that to keep the water retained, the T flip-flop, which you could have learned in the last episode, and now you have the hopper setup. So, if I'm going to show you how to make it, I might as well use the right materials and some dirt. I'm going to show you a very, very oh gosh, I hate this. Everything takes so much longer. It feels like there's delay on everything. So it's going to be 6 wide. And we'll have a piston set up right here. Is that going to work? If they're extended, then no, sorry. Alright, so we have a piston setup that goes all the way across here as I keep making mistakes. You should have some redstone torches below the pistons. That'll keep them extended. We'll later put some redstone power into those to turn them off. And that's glitchy. Alright, so you have all the pistons here. They're going to be retaining water. It's going to be sitting in this block right here. If this wasn't creative mode, it would take a lot longer. I would never make a video in survival mode for you unless I was trying to show you something that required survival mode, like a duplication glitch or something. And we're gonna then need some water buckets. And once you get the water buckets, you could just pour those all in there. You got the farm, so you're gonna need a hoe. Yes, the diamond hoe. It's perfect, diamond. And before you do that, you probably would want to add some water source, but because there's water right here, I don't think that'll actually work though, so let me just show you the brief model that I made. So, once you have this set up, it's pretty simple. Just gotta add more right here. Make sure that whatever you do, this only goes out 7 blocks from the water source because it has to pour down 1 block, and water only travels 8 blocks. So you gotta be careful when you're measuring out that it goes no more than 7 blocks from the water source, so it has 1 block to move downward and start the next one. And once you have that, you can have a little hole here and whatnot. It's going to be a little closer to the ground than the other model. Hopefully that won't confuse anybody. Probably should put water in before I start hoeing the place. And what you'll want to do is something like this. Water travels to the nearest hole, so it'll go down there no matter what. I knew that already. But it will go over here. Alright, so there's water running into these. These ones will start dying because, yeah. And water can travel 4 blocks to the right or left of it. No more, no less. So if you're going to have an 8 block wide one, you need it on both sides. If you're going to have a 4 block wide one, you only need it on one side. It's pretty simple. And as you see, the 4 block rule is applying here. And these are dying over here while this is getting saturated. So what you'll want to do is just do the same exact thing over here without breaking the half slabs. And once you have all the water and stuff installed, and like so, water. Alright, so once you have all this water here, and you have tilled the ground with your mighty hoe of Thor, and all the plots are all saturated, then you can get ready to begin on the T flip-flop. Well, while you're doing that, you can do the T flip-flop. I'm just going to build a little platform here for my T flip-flop. It's not very hard to build a T flip-flop, guys, so if you saw last episode, then this is just going to be a refresher. If you didn't see the last episode, then you're learning something new. You're learning how to make a T flip-flop, but that's not the point of this episode. I'm not going to really say much information about it. Just going to do it. Just do it! So I'm in my super flat world like normal. My wonderful sandstone super flat world with all the other tests. So once you have this setup going, you can get your button out for your T flip-flop. You can always use a lever if you don't feel like making a T flip-flop, but it's just more interesting. Now let's have 2 power sources just cause. I'll use this sandstone. So just let me get my redstone torches out. Alright, and once you have all this set up, power sources, you can apply the T flip-flop portion of the test. So you have to have that piston right under there, and you're going to want to have to go out 2 blocks. Put one there. You might think that these won't work, but let's just watch. See the angle of them. Once you hit the button, they'll change positions. My keyboard keeps jamming for some reason. Alright. And once you have that, this is the lever. You got that. And this will continue on to the redstone torches over here. I'm not really working on compact redstone. If you've ever seen me do compact redstone, I don't. So you won't see me do compact redstone. Here we are. It could be as wide or as small as you want it, but you're going to have to be careful with how much water you apply to it. Remember that water only travels 4 blocks in either direction for the tilled plots. And once you get all this wired up, put a repeater right there. It'll travel down the blocks. Ta-da. And the water will pour down, and it will make a mess out of everything because I didn't make it long enough. That won't be a problem in a few moments. On that one over there, you don't have to have this boundary applied. But what's going to happen is there will be blocks here, or hoppers here. So I'm going to have to go out actually a few blocks. But that's okay, guys, because I have tolerance. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This bottom one has to be 8 so the water doesn't flow over the edge. It's not hard, so you know how that is. And then the water will pour everywhere because it's updating. As you noticed, it stops at 8. And you'll have to apply the water down here like the other ones. You should be able to just take water from over here. Oh, the water realized that it... Okay. There you are. And the water will flow down. Not completely to the end, apparently, for some reason. That's okay, you could just add some water there. Water updated over here, too. Oh my. I'm clumsy. Add some water over here. And then fill in the area like applied. Apply your ointment, por favor. Alright, this might get in the way. I just delete it if you don't mind. Alright, so once you have this entire array set up, you should be able to hit this button one more time. That should go up. Yes. Alright, so that's the T flip-flop portion. Let me just hoe some more. Finish tilling the land. Alright, and once you're done tilling or hoeing or whatever you want to call it, I don't want to make any people offended if I say hoeing too much, if you know what I mean. And once you get that set up, then you got to go in the redstone portion of the hopper. Over here, you can't see it, but let me show you guys. The redstone travels into the hopper. When the hopper has redstone current going into it, it won't pick up blocks. It also puts redstone current into the track, so the minecart won't move side to side unless there's power. So let's set up the hopper and the minecart hopper portion. So we're going to need a hopper. Well, you're going to need a few hoppers actually. Might as well get my minecart with hopper. You're going to need gosh, I always call it track. I might as well call it rail. You're not going to need a detector rail, sorry. You're going to need a powered rail. You're going to need 2 powered rails, and however many rails are necessary. You're going to need a keyboard that doesn't jam up every 20 seconds for no reason in particular. And then, what I'm going to actually try, guys, is that model that I showed you before, which involves placing a block there, right-clicking, placing a block there, right-clicking. That's going to cause the hoppers to move into each other. And then they'll meet at this center point, which is, there really is no center point. So, we'll just move in two points right down here. There will be a powered track right here, and some non-powered rails right here, and another powered rail. Since we're going to be applying power to that side, if you're having trouble, pause the video or leave a comment, ask me a question, because sometimes I might get a little too fast for people. What is this? Oh, nether quartz. I didn't realize that there was. Well, I knew there was nether quartz, it didn't occur to me. Alright, and over here we're going to have these hoppers go into... I don't have any other blocks, so I'll use these. And then they're going to meet at this center point. This is going to be a 2-block center because of how I designed it. You're going to want to make sure you click on the tracks when you do this, or else it won't travel into this minecart properly. And then what you're going to want to do is, once you have the minecart here, underneath one of these tracks, I'm going to choose this side. You're going to want to apply one of these, like so. Oh gosh, I can't get a good angle on it. 1 second, guys. I'm going to break a hopper. You're going to want to apply a hopper right-clicking this side of the block, and then you're going to want to put a trail on top of the hopper. Make sure you're holding shift when you do that so that you don't get all messed up. And then, once you have that set up, you can break these 2 blocks. You can put a chest down. Not a trap chest, a normal chest. Oh, gosh. For some reason, there appears to be more delay on this. Alright, so once you put the chest down, you're all set. Wait, no, you're not. Alright, so once you do that, you're going to have all these hoppers here, and they're not going to do much because it's not set up to work yet. You're going to want to take this redstone, and you're going to want your keyboard to stop making you walk sideways. Take this redstone. I'm going to actually turn it on for the moment, if you don't mind, so I have some redstone current to work with. Right, that should go up to the hopper. Yep. Alright, then I'm going to take this redstone. I'm just going to make it look decent. I'm going to go underground from here. Right, so we're going to travel through time and space in the TARDIS. Okay. And then you realize that there's water here, so you gotta go a little further down. I think I've made that mistake before. Not going far enough down. And then you realize you break the block out of the minecart. Okay. So, this is the block you're going to need to apply power into. I'm going to do this because the block on top is going to power the track for me. I want this to be off when there is power into it, so I'm going to need an inverter. Generally, I can install an inverter right here. Okay, this is not going to go enough because I think redstone travels about 11 blocks. 11? I'm not 100% sure about that because I'm not that redstoney. But, what did I do wrong? Oh, that's what I did wrong. Alright, and once you have that, you're going to want to travel into the side of... Wow, I'm really bad at this. Alright, you're going to want to travel into the side of this block. You can use a repeater. Actually, I recommend that you use a repeater so that you don't accidentally loop around in any wrong ways. When there's redstone current in, it won't work, so then you want to have it go right here. It'll get redstone current through that block. I'll have to go replace these tracks soon. And, all in all, you won't actually need sorry this. About that. My headset doesn't like me, because I'm not listening to sounds. Alright, now what we're going to do is it's pretty much ready to be fired up. Once you put these tracks back, if you put a rail here, it should be powered. Note that you got a little gap here, so you can cover that up. You can use whatever material you want to, just make sure you can have the ground tilled properly. Fill in this hole right here. I'm no Minecraft guru, but I know how to do a little basic stuff. No, I'm pretty guru-rific. Guru-rific. Oh, wow. Keyboard blocking up. So let's say now, if I throw this torch in the water, and I'll just throw my other inventory into the water, it'll get pushed down. That would normally just be your crops, but I don't have any crops on me, and I don't feel like making you guys watch me plant bone meal. Plant the plants. So once they get on top of the hoppers, they get sucked up. And, oh, I forgot to put the minecart back, guys. Alright. And then what happens is your chest will start filling up with your inventory. Well, whatever you put in there. It's pretty efficient. I like it. It won't overflow because it's not taking in a lot of materials right now. But if I were to throw in this sack of wheat, it would get sucked in, and it would just start pulling that wheat in. It's a very fast system. It works very nicely. The sideways ones will push into the middle ones, which push down. Notice the color difference. I didn't realize that would happen, but it does. And then, when you're ready to stop, just turn it off. The redstone current goes off. Minecart stops moving side to side. It might still have some stuff in it, depending on when you stopped it. Your hoppers might still have some stuff in them. You can always modify the circuit to add some delay or make it manual. But once you have that all set up, you got yourself a nice self-done farm. You can make this as big as you want to. Just make sure you have the 7 blocks going down. Thank you guys for watching. Remember the T flip-flops. I bid you all farewell. Have a nice day. And please subscribe, comment if you don't understand something. And I'll see you all hopefully tomorrow. Maybe Thursday or Friday or Saturday. Thanks, guys. See you all later.